There it is. We got the Suburban back on the lift, and today I'm cutting the muffler off. If you're new to the channel and you want to catch up to everything I've been doing, go to the channel, find a playlist, says 8.1 Suburban, and catch up over the past year and a half of progress I've made on this thing. It did not look like this when I first got it. It was kind of like a redneck lease deer hunting truck or something, and 8.1 4x4 has been lowered with a bunch of stuff done to it. I even did this custom exhaust that comes out the side of the fender, and like it or hate it, I like it. But it's a 4-inch. It runs all the way to a single 4-inch out, and I'll show you here, dual 3-inch in with V-band clamps. I didn't have the foresight to buy a 4-inch V-band when I put the muffler on, but I got one coming in the mail. I was looking for a Y pipe I could weld in to swap the muffler out with, but no one makes a dual 3 to single 4. For $100, I can make my own. So I went to my favorite eBay place and I bought two 3-inch 45s, and I have a piece of 4-inch left over from doing the exhaust the first time. And we're gonna cut them up, measure it out, and install a straight pipe on the Suburban for Cruising the Coast 2023. Check me out. So I was gonna weld a bar from here to here like they had from the factory to keep these from spreading open. But the muffler does that for me, and so will the Y pipe. It may be an afterthought, but I think I'll be okay. So, since these are clamped on and ready to go, all I really need to do is give me a straight as cut as I can right here, and the V-band's going to take up the slack for this weld. And that way, the new V-band will go on the end of this muffler, and the other new V-band will go on the end of the Y pipe I'm going to build. Man, I really don't want to do this because it fits so perfect. Man. But I know I'm going to really like the way that straight pipe sounds when I go to cruising. I think I'm just going to put the muffler on for towing only, so well, here goes nothing. See if I can cut it straight enough with the Sawzall and then fix it with the chop saw in a second. This ought to get it. This is the last shot right here. Push up on this. Dude, this thing here is stuck, bruh. Little piece of metal, little piece of metal. I just got that one flat part left to go, but I'm binding it up. I guess I could undo my V-band now. My cut's almost all the way through. I'm gonna grab a, I think it's 13 millimeter. I'm gonna grab a 13 millimeter to undo these V-bands. Let's see, is it 13? It's a 13, or a 14 just in case. I love these. Super easy. Take them off and on as many times as you want. And the nylock never really strips or nothing. So, pops off. Don't lose that. Muffler falls on your head and the V-band comes off. This is all that was holding me together, this little piece right here, and give it just to wiggle it, pick this up a little bit so we can see what we're doing. So it wasn't hardly anything. Look, I just touched it, fall right off. Nothing much had us, but there's my 4-inch over the axle pipe. Right, so the end result that I'm looking for here is these two 45s across cut them, weld the seam, and take my piece of 4-inch and make a Y pipe. Essentially making the muffler, but you know, no sound baffling. So I guess I'm going to find straight with my square here, and about the middle, and then gonna draw a line to go off of. Be a nice turn down. So see if I can make this work all the way to here, and just kind of eyeball that this is straight with the ruler. But cut that straight. So essentially, take these two lines, cut them straight, overlap them. Freaking third diver nest. That's a cool looking tip. You can polish that out and slide that on anything else. All right, one more. Man. See that underneath the Chevelle or something sitting right there by the bumper? That'd be awesome. Warm. All right, that's one. And then this one. Yeah, it looks pretty good. That's a rocket right there. I am about a 1/4 inch off from eyeballing. I think that'll be all right. Because I do have a little bit of room. I can slide this inside of the V-band also. So now it's weld this together, cut it off where the 4-inch tells me to, weld that on, and I've made my Y pipe. You can roll the extra cut metal from the inside. This is just a little easy screwdriver. Rest off with your grinder. That's it. Cleaned up. Now I can take both of these, weld them together, and that should give me pretty close to my muffler. Let's line this up, put a couple tacks, and then I'll be able to run this across the chop saw and figure out where my 4-inch is going to go. Then also I can figure out the length of the 4-inch and chop off this little extra trim here. Got my ground on. I need to get a welding table. That's what I need to get. I want this. I don't really care too much about that end piece. It's the center I want perfect. Yeah, it all butts up nice. It's flat. It's straight. I just got to cut off just like a, man, like 3/16 of an inch for it to be perfect. All right, throw the tack on this side. This little welder, for being 20 years old with flux core, man, it lays a nice little flat weld. I'm still impressed by it. All right, I'm gonna tack instead of one continuous. That way I won't warp anything before I can actually have it put together correctly. All right, that's it. As far as I'm going to go with that, now it's figure out the length of the 4-inch. So when the 4-inch comes in, this essentially is going to sit in here, but I need to squeeze this down to egg it out so I can draw my line where to cut. So I'm going to go run over to the vise, squeeze it out, and be right back. So I got my 4-inch ovaled out pretty good. Stuck it in the vise, cranked it down. And that is just about the size of my 3-inch radius. Fits pretty tight, so next up, laying this flat on the table. I'm going to draw with my Sharpie where to cut it off on the grinder. Also, I need to make sure it's straight so it doesn't end up going off to the side. That looks pretty good. So that's what I got to line up on the chop saw. Cut that off. Guess I go from that direction. That's why I didn't weld any of this. It's just a waste. But there's my oval, and that splits off into the light pipe. So my welds made good penetration too. Nice. All right, let's clean this up. Weld on the 4-inch. So I left my mark to give me a little bit of meat to weld to, and it's still hot. I'm gonna go ahead and get the inside out of here from the chop saw. I now have a nicely cleaned up. Man, check that out. That's gonna sound awesome. Let's turn it on. Look, yeah, perfect. So now that you can see what I'm talking about, we're gonna sit this in here, and see, I'll rotate so y'all can see. This pipe, since I squeezed it, has a bevel, so if I lay it flat on a table, it'll be angled. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it straight. That looks good to me. You can actually see it better on camera than I can. Yeah, no, that looks perfect, just like that. And let's twist it without making it mess up. Look at the camera, it'll tell me. It's just like leaned a tick. So let me reach past y'all and pull it in. There we go. There, that looks nice and straight. At least it's on enough to play with it without it moving around. All right, yeah. Now I may be able to lay it flat, put a clamp on it, and do it the right way. Dude, that's gonna work. Yep, wide pipe. So I'll go ahead and fill all that in and cut it to length. Look, it's not the prettiest, but it damn sure ain't the ugliest, and it works. So now that I got this pretty damn solid, I'm going to go ahead and flip it because I don't want any warping, and it's straight. I don't want it to flex or bend or anything. So let's go ahead and flip it over, and I'll catch here to here, and then I might catch the center. I don't know. I just want to disperse the heat around it. Body panels bend a whole lot more than pipe, but I've had pipes warp also. All right, let's roll it.
Man, using a large overlap works real good on this butt weld. Layered. It's layered. So I don't claim to be a welder, but I can put some metal together. It ain't the prettiest, but it works. Maybe one day if I get away from flux cord, it'll stop welding like a stick welder. And I can actually, every now and then on some thick stuff, I can make pretty welds happen, but not usually. But they're strong. That's all that counts right now. Man, do the other butt crack. So up here at the top, weld it down. I got about 2 inches left. Woo! Man, I want to say that Lincoln wire welds better than that Freight Harbor wire. That's flatter and hotter and smoother to me. I never claimed to be the world's best welder, but that's welded. I don't care what anybody says. It's going under a 2005 Suburban. Until I get a TIG, I think that's the best I can get with flux core. That's not too shabby. I know it's airtight, and I've seen worse, so I'm gonna let that ride. Take this to the chop saw and cut on the line. Then I can weld my V-bands. And while I'm at the chop saw, let's go ahead and get this back piece. Yeah, it's cool. The right length. We'll cut that off of that. And then with that flushed up, I'll cut that off of here. So, leaving the mark, you want to cut this direction away from the mark. Cutting that off the muffler and the pipe will make both of these the same length, and I can interchange them when I need to. That's perfect. It's kissing the back one, and I got a little bit left. Man, well, I feel good about this one. And my still flatness. So what I'm looking for is this bead on the inside to be the same distance all the way around. And eyeballed, it is close. As long as I get these two flat, it'll match up with what's under the car. And what happens over here, I do have a little wiggle room in and out. I just don't have any backwards and forwards. I still might be able to. Oh, I can pick that up. I can pick it up. I can pick it up. We get a little pickup on it. Oh, that's good. Yeah, just like that. I mean, just like it. Look just like them. Weld those two little dots together. Yeah, we got no wobble. I'm telling you, you could put a mic on it. That's perfect. No exhaust leaks, no whammies. Let's get this one on a little bit better. We'll get the other one flat and weld them both. Ring. Yep, did the right ring. All right. Now this one, gotta sit this on here. I'm gonna drop a straight edge across that to make sure I got them right. So, we got a straight edge. I'll hold this up here and hold that flat right there. Just like that. Don't move. That's good. And oh yeah, I am flat. And right on. Ah, that's the hard part. Now, lay them down and make them airtight. It's gonna be good. All right, let's get this one nice and airtight. They weld super easy too. I have taken my, I need more hands. My straight edge, and I've lined that up, both sides, perfect. Come over here and switch hands. Just lining this up to where it's supposed to be. Let's stand up, but hey, look, it'll stand up. And I weld this V-band on how it's supposed to go. I am so in the ballpark for making this work correctly. So I'm confident I can go ahead and weld the last one on that Y pipe. Yeah, the Y pipe I just made. And when I get done trimming the muffler, it'll all line up perfect. You got to flip it so you can weld it. Sorry, Freight Harbor, your off-brand welding wire does not weld as good as the name brand welding wire. I know it's not how you get a sponsorship from the Freight Harbor, but you know what? Y'all ain't sent me nothing yet anyway, so I'm just gonna tell it like it is on this one. Yeah, now you can't tell what I started or finished. I got that overlap. All right, let's brush this out. That'll come out good. Good. Look up in there. Nice. Let's see. Got that lined up. And when my last 4-inch V-band comes in, I'll cut it right there on that mark, weld it onto this muffler, and I will have an interchangeable straight pipe with a sound dampener for when I'm towing. It is V-band time. Let's go ahead and install the Y pipe. There it is. And let's line this up. Dude, it's like right on. So that fits in there. Lined up. Go to your home. There it is. Clarkson says, right, it is. All right, first V-band installed loosely. Huh. Straight pipe on the burb. I'll leave them loose so I can rotate them. There we go. Man, it just stays. That is awesome. All right. It's lined up. It's lined up. I mean, it fell into place. Oh, this is awesome. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? That's what my buddy Tony G says, my boy the Jeep. I love it when a plan comes together. No shit, doesn't everybody? All right, get in. There it is. It is in. Dude, I got a freaking straight pipe on the 8.1. I have an interchangeable straight pipe on the 8.1. And my V-bands are amazing. Let's see if I can bring y'all onto here. Tripod just right to be wrong. Look at that. Man, it fits perfect. Look at that. So I'll put my V-bands to where I can just hit them with the drill and self-tighten. Oh, it's solid. I could drive it like that if I wanted to. Yeah. Man, it just bolted right up. Got the end of it. That's what it looks like to look down the barrel of an 8.1. Dude, it fits like damn good. Cool.
All right, y'all, look, I'm gonna have to shut that down right there. That took way longer than I expected. There's a lot of editing, and that's only part one. I got part two coming up next week, and that's pretty much just hanging the tailpipe over and showing y'all what it sounds like. I took it to Cruising the Coast. It was amazing. People loved the way the 8.1 sounds uncorked. It was kind of hilarious because I would drive by and people would be confused, and they would look around and then it would point at my Suburban, and I'd be like, yeah, that was me, you know, because they expected that El Camino or the 69 Chevelle to come blowing by with the big block in it, but they don't know that's a big block Suburban. So thank y'all for checking out Modified. I got Cruising the Coast content coming up, and catch y'all on Fridays. Thanks. Later.